In this video, we're going to look at immigration in a Cobb-Douglas economy, both the short-run and long-run effects on wages. So we have a production function with constant returns to scale for an economy that produces an aggregate good. And the production function looks like this. The marginal product to capital. We're going to take the partial derivative of the production function with respect to K capital, and we get the following result. And we get the marginal product to labor, and we get this result. Just one thing here, I did say constant returns to scale, and we can see that because the exponents sum to 1, and also the exponent here, 0.2, would technically represent the share of income going to capital, and 0.8 represents the share of income going to labor. In this case, 80% of the income goes to labor, 20% to capital. We're going to let P equal 1, the price of the output good. And competitive input markets, we will note that the input price will equal the value of the marginal product, where the value of the marginal product is the price times the marginal product. Here again we said P's 1. So here is the condition for the capital market. The rental price of capital, or rental rate of capital, R, equals the marginal product to capital, or the value of the marginal product to capital, where P is 1. And a similar thing here in the wage market in equilibrium. The wage will equal the value of the marginal product of labor. So we get these two key conditions. And we're going to assume that the supply of native workers is perfectly inelastic. Supply curve is vertical, in other words. And in the short run, when capital is fixed, what happens to wages if immigrants enter the labor market? So we're going to take our condition from the last slide. I'm going to take the natural logs of both sides. So we get something like this. And we can easily, in this double log form, calculate the elasticity of the wage with respect to immigration. And in this case, it's just this minus 0.2, implying a 10% increase in immigration reduces wages by 2%. So the short-run effect on wages from an increase in immigration. In the short run, when capital is fixed, what happens to the rental price of capital if immigrants enter the labor market? So taking that key condition where the rental rate of capital equals the value of the marginal product of capital, once again taking the natural log of both sides, get something like this. And here the elasticity of the rental price of capital with respect to immigration is just this coefficient over here. It's positive, 0.8. So implying a 10% increase in immigration increases a rental price or rental rate of capital by 8%. So the price of capital increases. In the long run, the rental rate of capital is constant, returning to its long-run equilibrium level. As capital becomes more profitable in the short run, the supply of capital will increase in the long run, driving down its price. So here again, that key condition, we're going to take the natural log of both sides. We saw this result before. And now I'm going to take the total differential of this equation. And the key thing here is the change in the rental rate of capital, as dr is assumed to be 0, returning to its long-run level. So this whole thing then will just equal 0. And let's do some factoring on the left-hand side, factor out a minus 0.8 term. And so we have this key expression. This dk divided by k is the percentage change in capital. And over here we got the percentage change in labor. So in order for this to equal 0, in the long run, the percentage change in capital will equal the percentage change in labor. We have to have something 0 in parentheses here. So again, the key insight here is that percentage change in labor equals the percentage change in capital in the long run. the long run effect on wages. So again, taking that key wage equation, taking the natural logs of both sides, we get this. This time I'm going to take the total differential of this wage equation. We get this result here. So on the left-hand side, we just got the percentage change in wages. Factoring out a 0.2 on the right-hand side, we have something that we just seen before, and we know in the long run that this is 0. So what does that mean? It means that there is no change in the wage rate in the long run. So the percentage change in the wage is 0 in the long run. Yeah, there's a short run effect where wages drop, but in the long run, allowing for capital to increase, wages will return to their long run equilibrium level. And that's it. I hope you found this video helpful.